All right. We are officially live. Let me take out one of these so I can hear myself talk. Switch over to the stream manager. Log into the development server. Cool. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for that. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. If you want to see that number get bigger, help us. In theory, it helps us understand general level of interest in the project. So, joining Discord, subscribing on YouTube, all of that type of stuff. Seems helpful. We'll see. One day when we look back on this project, we'll understand more. Yep, this is a long ass load. Let's see if I actually make it in. There we go. Again, those of you that maybe haven't watched the last couple of streams or haven't checked out what's going on with Zukin, you can see the player characters undergoing some changes, a lot of technical and character art revamps going on. Hey, Pattis. Chad the Alpha Male asks, is there anything better than enjoying a Diet Dr. Pepper while watching the stream? Well, I think that's a personal thing, dude. Well, freaking frame rate. Yeah, having the character art working again is going to be pretty awesome. There's something about that texture. It makes it... He looks very round right here. A bit round. But then when you look at him from the side, it's not what it looks like. Hey Chaz, what's up, Big Al? Alright, I saw something earlier. Let me go see if it is what I think it is, and I'll fix it real quick. Today we'll probably look at some more bugs. I'm not quite sure. Maybe we'll take a nap together on stream. A nap would be nice today. You can see I'm all bundled up. It's nap weather. Pattis, quick question for you. When would be good to do the Newbie Yard revamp? The North Newbie Yard. Because if you have a rough idea time-wise of when you want to do it, then I can also see if I can make myself available for it as well. These guys, okay. You already started it. Alright, well, I'm available if you need anything. Cool. Is it on stream? What stream did you start on? I am behind. It is? Is it on YouTube? Here, let me bring it up so I don't miss it later. Hey, MMO Pug. Hurry. You're working on it yesterday. Okay. Cool. All right. Cool deal. I'll take a look then. It'll be good timing on it as well. Because once that's wrapped up, I'll probably finally have at least my set of newbie first passes done, and then I can consider the fact that it exists when doing revisions of them. Zone panel. Enable. Hope this coffee kicks in. Have you checked that work in? I've pulled latest. I can just go over behind me and look. MMO Pug, thank you for the resub and for 4 months. Yeah, I am in Sungreet. Oh, I've got the wrong data loaded up. I was like, why is it taking so long? Enable. Cool. I didn't think there was a ton going on here, but I saw that mobs were added. So they're in here. In here. In here. But I don't think they've got a wonder in volume going on. That's why they're chilling. That's why they're just hanging out. So let's get them moving. Command. Wander in volume. Pause chance. I still don't understand pause chance, to be honest with you. I think it's... I've really got to clarify with this Ollie or... Yeah, probably Ollie. Let's just say Fitty. Pause duration. I swear we experimented with this the other month, and I figured it out, and I've promptly forgotten it again. And I probably didn't document it. Damn it. Is this 2 seconds? I could have sworn this was actually in seconds and not nanoseconds. Don't matter. It'll be okay. New command. Water and volume. 50. Pause duration 2. Do it like that. And come here. New command. Wander and volume. 50. Go back in the game. Reload data. Big Al says, I think I'm going to try some P99. Any tips for a newbie? Friends want to try EQ. Good starting class. Everfest says, Druid is a great intro. I found, I don't know, tell me what you think. I found that Druid could, on P99, could feel, especially if you don't know what to expect, might feel a little, it felt like there's a little bit of hump in terms of, there was a hump to get over in terms of power and stuff like that. I don't know. She just, I won't say that she felt super, what am I trying to say? Because what do we start with? You start with a heal, you start with the first whatever flame thing. I'm trying to remember. I could have sworn she just didn't feel very powerful initially. But I got over that. Alright, so everything's moving around now. But the druid eventually was fun to play. Big Al, are you going to be playing with other people or you mentioned friends? Is it strictly going to be solo or are you guys going to be playing together pretty regularly? Would bet on more solo play. Busy friends with kids. You could play a necromancer. Then you'll always have a friend with you. You could I'm curious how many people you're going to run into the newbie zones right now on P99. Was thinking over lunch that it's been a shamefully long time since I logged in.
A logum through another day at work enjoying this content. Looking forward to the end of the month for M&M.
Slogging. Okay, it makes sense. I was like, is a logum, is that a new term? I can't keep up with the internet. But I appreciate that. Thank you for 12 months, Bullet Catcher. Hopefully work is not too much of a slog or an alogum. Everfest says Magician is easy mode, but flattens off at high levels. Let's be real. Let's be real. Big Al, are you really going to get that high level on this character? Or are you just going to hop in, poke around for a little bit and see what it's like? Realistically. Hope to get hooked but can't say. Oh. So why don't you start with like a mage or a necromancer? I mean, yeah, I guess druid be cool. And go to the P99 wiki and look up those three first. Go there and just read through the description on each one of those. And see if any of the three tickle your fancy. Because if you do find that you like it, if you find that you like something like the Necromancer, and you're liking the game in general, you decide that you're going to spend you want to spend a lot of time playing from that point forward, then you can use your higher level solo character to feed money and items to your other characters that you end up playing. I was thinking a little bit about the best way to approach populating this, also during lunch. Anybody in here? Nope. Pat has said it's still pretty rough in areas. Also, the houses won't all be the same. Okay. Any recommended starting cities? Depends on what class you pick. Everfest said, just a side note, there will be a new TLP starting in May on EQ Live. I expect it will have the popular mischief rules. If so, it'll be very populated and fun to level on. Hey, T-Con. I missed somebody else earlier. Hey, John. Hey, Mustang Spy. Okay, so I see the wall has moved. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I was just thinking, Big Al, what you may want to do, a fun experiment would be go ahead and just start on P99, and then in May when the TLP kicks off, go check that out, and then compare and contrast your experiences. I think it'd be very healthy. It's good to see where EQ came from, essentially, and then what it's become. Cool deal, Pattis. It's funny. So I've checked this bug that I was working on, and fishing still doesn't work. So I've added the fishing volume script to the water volume here, and I've added fishing tables to the database, Pattis, and neither seems to have fixed it. Borlock asked, what are mischief rules? Pattis responds, randomized loot based on level of mob, and Furiona V like open trade. So they have tiers of tiers of mobs, and so if you kill a named or a boss or whatever, it could drop anything from that tier. If we fish in the harbor area, will we reel in a killer boat? Not for the time being, but maybe later. Rainbows for breakfast says, oh hey, I'm actually awake during one of your streams. I actually had a question I've been curious about from somebody who works with games. Why has nobody tried to remake a Guild Wars 1 combat system yet? Is it a pain from the development standpoint? I can't imagine it being any more of a pain from the development standpoint than anything else. I think it's just there's a pretty finite number of games that get made every year. Well, since it takes more than a year to make a game. You know what I mean. Anyway, there's a finite number of games that get made, and until somebody that's making the games, you know, appears that really has a strong preference for something like the Guild Wars 1 Guild Wars 1 combat system, then it's just not going to get made. You know what I mean? I think that's probably the biggest obstacle, which is weird because a number of people have talked about how much they've liked it over the years. But it's similar to the stuff that we've been doing, which I assume if you say that you're actually awake during one of the streams, you've been following the project a bit, and you can see that there are a number of decisions that we've been making that are not common these days, but have been done, or aspects of it have been done before, and the reason why it's getting done now is because we want to do it. Does that make sense? Let me see if there's anything interesting noted here. I tell you, that might be true. If I were to ever do another superhero game, maybe the Guild Wars system would be interesting to use. But I still like Wizard 101's combat for a superhero game. You've been watching YouTube videos. Hopefully Eminem might be able to finally pull some of your Guild Wars hours. That'd be cool. Hopefully the music is audible enough. I'm being a little bit quieter than normal today. I'm not blabbing quite as much. I think I'll wind up moving these guys. I'll move them over. Move them over here or something. I like the idea that Simon put forward for this area here. So we'll probably work on that. So it'd be nice to do go ahead and put a population in for it. Speaking of Pattis and Simon, I wanted to place a bunch of doors in the next couple of weeks before the open playtest. Assuming we do it when we've been talking about. I've been wanting to place some doors, Pattis. The thing is, we've only got one type of door, but we have different types of doorways, my dude. We got this guy here. Whitechapel. Thank you for 14 months. Very cool of you. Then we got this guy here. This is a different. How hard are they to set up? Because I was thinking about, I was just gonna plop in the ones that we have for now, because I'm really the main idea would be like just starting to block off some space and, you know, do a little initial marking of like, ooh, this is player housing, that type of thing. So some of this would probably just be handled with volume rules. You cannot enter here. Or no, I guess you could probably enter it there, but you just wouldn't be able to enter here. How do you sign up for the open playtest? Or will it be available to all? Beer Chug, it'll be available to all, and we'll be letting folks know. Never hurts to be on our mailing list, even though it's going to go to your spam folder in our Discord. But I think most of you are probably in there. But we'll probably be posting. We'll be shooting a message out to the mailing list, and we'll be posting a notification in our Discord. Could you put tape on the floor to represent where the walls and doors will one day be? And that's a WKRP in Cincinnati reference? Holy heck. Yeah, so where do we have let me go look at some doors. Yeah, we got these square ones. Well, rectangular. I think I put some over here. Cool. All right. Did I Did I actually... I think I'm just going to have to, with regards to the phishing issue, I'm just going to have to update the GitHub issue and mention that it still doesn't work and see if we can get some help on that. Because there is a water volume here. I'm swimming. But you can't fish here. It doesn't seem to make sense to me. Let's go here. Harbor. Water volumes. 1. Fishing script has been added. I'm assuming the server bounced when there was a build or whatever. Fishing volume ID 1. We look at the database. We go to zone fishing. The data. Night Harbor, volume 1. Oh, you know what? But there's 2 volumes. You know what? I might have... This might be as simple as... We've got 2 volumes, but when I put it in there, I just said 1. And I wonder if that's causing some sort of an issue. That may be it. I guess I can change that locally and see what happens. Can I actually change that locally and have it do anything? Because I'm fairly certain this data has got to be on the server. Not client-side data. Wouldn't that be something? If I go to Shaded Dunes though. Alright, here I am. We're in here, we look at Shaded Dunes. How many water volumes are there? Weather controller, water volume. Lake volume. Lake volume. Ocean water volume. Alright, so they're doing these are the same setup. They're all using fishing volume ID 1. So we'd probably want to change that at some point to make it to maybe have some different fish depending on where you are. Let me turn aggro off. Let me try to fish. I cast my line. Not a problem. Alright, so that's not the problem that I'm in. Night Harbor is not being affected by the fact that everything is labeled fishing volume ID 1. Because it's working here. Alright, so that mystery is solved. It's some other mystery, guys. We have ourselves a real bona fide mystery. So, let me make a note of that. John, at some point we have to do a video call, just so I can put a face with all of your jokes. That may seem like a strange request, but it'll be good. Plot twist, John is just AI. Well, but he can still generate a 3D representation. So the mystery may continue, BDC Retro. Reveal. All right. Fishing volume scripts have been added to both water volumes in Night Harbor. There are also zone fishing table has also been updated, but still getting the message. You cannot fish here. Comment. Is there anything else that needs to... I mean, I just duplicated what was already there. Let me look on the zone. Doesn't seem to be anything needed there. Okay, so, yep. We'll have to ask tech. You cannot fish here. You shall not fish. Lantern oil and lantern. When double-clicking my lantern oil to refill my lantern, it gives me a message: you must be holding an item that can be recharged. I tried putting the lantern in my hand on my belt, still getting the message. Hey, Hell's Ridge. Alright, so let's look up some lantern. 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 Lantern fuel. Alright, let's do it. Got me a lantern on my belt. Let's make some lantern fuel. Cool. I think it's gonna, I need to, I think I need to have this run for a bit. Hey, Keith. So I'll let that run for a little bit, and then hopefully it expends a little bit of fuel. All right, 29 charges. All right, so it's expended some fuel. Wait, is this the one where you gotta do it in reverse? because that just wouldn't work, will it? Ah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's been so long since I did this, I forgot how it worked. So let me denote. Is this an open source project or paid work? OAM asks. It is a commercial project that is being worked on for the time being via a staff of people that are volunteering their time. Kuchibiro Nomari, thank you for the follow. Hey Swanee, does that make sense to you, OAM, in terms of, you don't have to agree with it, but do the words that I said make sense in the alignment? In the arrangement that they came out of my mouth? Okay. Yeah, so this isn't a bug, it's just UX that we need to improve. So maybe I'll add that to our known issues. You're very welcome. Do you know much about the project? OAM? Here's our website. And here's our Discord. And we take all of these streams and we put the VODs on YouTube as well. So there are 3 links for you if you'd like to learn more. You can learn more about our team on the team page on the website. There are currently about 14 of us. Covering different disciplines. Recharging lanterns. Requires you to right click the item to be recharged. Oh wait, right click the fuel with the item to be recharged. The item to be recharged? Maybe it sounds better if I say the item you mean you want to recharge. Right? That's what we just did. Lantern fuel. Yeah, I really haven't had enough cash to get fancy lanterns, so I've been more of a torch person myself. I'm gonna have that posted as a known issue. Oops. Oops. There we go. What is the next bug? I can close this out as not a bug. What do we call not a bug? It is none of those options. We'll just close it out. This is a misunderstanding the current UX, not a bug. However, it's been noted for the patch. Yeah, it's not that it's not reproducible, Keith. There is a tag for that, but that's not the thing here. It's just not a bug. I mean, it's essentially UX feedback. It's the UX tricked somebody. It's just not optimal UX is what it is. Ranged while in melee weaving. I think all of the ranged attacks and melee stuff has already been addressed. But I'm not gonna close it out for now. Gnome NPCs are not interactable and textures are messed up. What happened was they were attempting to rock a rhyme, but sometimes it's tricky to rock a rhyme. To rock a rhyme that's right on time, it's tricky, Swanee. Tricky, tricky. Tricky, tricky. Oh. That was one of the... I don't know that was, but... the first two hip-hop cassettes that I've received or owned, one was Raising Hell, and the other one was a mixtape with Dougie Fresh, The Real Roxanne, Slick Rick, maybe Sugar Hill Gang? I don't know. I could have sworn I got both of those for Christmas, 1986? 1985? 1986. My mom bought them for me. I was completely enamored. Was I much into the Beastie Boys? Yes, the Beastie Boys, Licensed to Ill, was the first cassette tape that my mom ever took back from me, that she purchased. I think Licensed to Ill might have been one of the most gangster rap albums of its day. I think it went harder than anything else at the time. I could have sworn that kind of served. I thought they were kind of groundbreakers. You'd have to look up, I guess, and compare. But I mean, Licensed to Ill came out, that was like 86, 87. And there were not a lot of rappers being that naughty at the time, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong. So Gnome is interactable, but yes, he is a bit Nosferatu looking, but aren't we all at the moment? So let me close this bug. Zukin commented last week, I added the collider boxes, I forgot. So gnomes are now clickable again. Still having an issue getting the face working properly, but I think I'll need assistance from Ollie. Swanee said, my sister-in-law posted a photo of some fresh powder that was falling from the sky in Bitburg. It's a little chillier there this week. It's been it's been colder the last week or so. It's weird because it got to the point where I was out. I could take the dog out in like a t-shirt. It was like 11 degrees or whatever a few weeks ago, and now we woke up to like 3 or 4 inches of snow, but it disappeared almost immediately a couple days ago. And then this morning there was a bit more snow, but it's not sticking. But Bitburg's a bit south of here. Like we're just kind of damp here, but it's a bit warmer, and the weather tends to be more stable in this region just because we've got I guess the air coming off the sea or something. BDC Retro said, I remember being 8 and being introduced to 2 Live Crew by a cousin. You've yet to heal. Yeah, I can imagine. You probably had all sorts of questions for your parents at age 8 then. But 2 Live Crew, they fought and won a pivotal free speech case. There's a great documentary on Netflix on the history of hip hop. You guys should check it out if you damp is always a better choice of word than moist. Morning, sir. Hello, chat. Hey, Nicodemus. Well, I mean, it's just damp here. If it was warm, then it would be moist, like Florida or Alabama. But it's just damp. Damp cake sounds sad. I don't say that's true. That's not what you're shooting for when you make cake. I just pictured the box. Like... This is the dampest cake you'll ever eat. Video Lucas, thank you for the follow. Alright, so... First said, I think the only cassette tapes I ever owned were educational ones and the California Raisins tape. That was a pretty popular tape, though. California Raisins were huge. The California Raisins were like the Spuds McKinsey of dried up fruit. New fishing item would be damp. I guess that makes sense. New with extra dampness. You can only get it here at Cabela's. The brand new Bill Dance fishing lure. Damp cake, be sure to store this on a non-porous plate. Yeah, non-porous plates are usually are better for that sort of thing. Picture on the box is of a cake dripping off the side of a plate. Man. Was it sad that for like a decade I thought they were a real band who really made those songs? It depends on the decade. Like if you're in your 20s, then yeah, it's kind of sad. If you're like 8 or 9, then I think it's okay. Why are the only people that make music chipmunks? It's like a Sliders episode where the only musician in the world is Weird Al Yankovic. And in that world, he actually invented all the songs himself. Alright, so let me make a note here. I'll have tag Zukin in it. Zook. But I put a regular gnome face on there for now, so at least he doesn't have ogre boobies for a face anymore. Oh, that's the best comment in a bug. Looks like this is pretty much done. In parentheses, assuming gnomes progress similarly to humans on the texture front. Comment. Probably 7 or 8. Okay, well then I think that's fair. You shouldn't beat yourself up. I've known a number of 7 and 8-year-olds. They're not really all that smart, a lot of them. And even the ones that are pretty smart aren't necessarily wise to the world. They're not hip to what's going on. So a bunch of these are just ability bugs. Concept interrupting your cast. Yeah. Oh, geez. Oh, am I just is open? That's not the filter I want. Assign to me, thank you. Too many bugs. Backup spell book. What about it? No text on trap. I think this is a Luna bug. Let me look at it. When you first fall down, the first plank in Wormsbane, there's no text. No text is displayed there. That is there. Displayed that there's a falling trap there. It just shows 5 damage, and then a few seconds later, you instantly die. Maybe add some text that says you have suffered catastrophic fall damage. I know one of you probably wrote this bug. I'm not making fun of it. Or something to that effect. So players don't think it's a bug. How would we do that? How is that even firing off? That'd be a fun one to look at. All right, let's go take a look at it. I wish I could write and stream at the same time. Are there any streamers that are writers? I'm curious how they pull that off. I wonder how interesting that stream is. Just watching someone stare at a keyboard. Blank-faced. No one tell first about Milli Vanilli then? Didn't they just have like something just came out about them? I thought I saw them featured on the internet, or maybe it was YouTube. I'm in love with you, girl, girl, girl. Was that them? First was into Nirvana, Red Hot Chili Peppers, 9 Inch Nails, etc. Not Milli Vanilli, how dare you. Nadosa said, I had a suggested article about a remote worker that streams herself working a day job. Apparently it gets views. Well, I could see that. People watch people sleep. Alright, so... Boom. I fell. I got attacked. Stop it, fooligan. How dare you, grayscale texture skeleton. Hello, Ryan 4664. Is there still a trap here? Do the spikes still exist here? The last I remember, Pattis said that the spikes were not firing off anymore. Ryan said, a while ago I asked for some game dev tips. Been working on building some stuff and having a lot of fun. Hell yeah, brother. And I say in return, hell yeah, brother, right back at you. Or I guess in this case, you're not really saying it at me. You're just saying it. So I'm reiterating what you just said. You haven't figured out whether they aren't spawning from the DB, but the animation should work, right? Are they even here? Just like putting hell yeah out in the world? So do I. There's not enough of that. Pattis, my friend, I don't even see no spikes. Wouldn't they just live under the world here? Under the sea. Not sure whether they're not spawning in. I can look. I probably won't know. I won't be able to figure it out. That's me being pessimistic, but what can I tell you? Were they... How were they spawning in? Were they a static? Yep, static. Spike trap. Spike trap. Spike trap. Spike trap. All right, man. So where does it think these guys exist? It thinks the spike trap exists at... Well, let me get a look first. Yeah, pretty close. So, right around here, it says 714 to negative 272. Yeah. So it should be here. Scale 1. Default state. ID 1. Model HID WB spike trap. Excuse me. Pattis, that naming... It could just be spike trap. Now, which of these should it be using? This? Or this prefab name? Waiting for the moment when Sean fixes the spike spawn, they shoot up and kill his character. That would be awesome if that happened. They just didn't have a damage spell hooked up to them or have a volume that triggers them, since I didn't have an example of one of those to reverse engineer. Oh, fair enough, Pattis. That makes sense. Nicodemus said, back in the day when the kids in my area were into fixing up their trucks, lowriders, and hooking up hundreds of speakers and amplifiers pushing thousands of watts. I had a Volkswagen Bug that did that. The bass in Milli Vanilli songs was good for block parties. Girls came running like if you were the ice cream truck, Nicodemus said. That is a bold and illustrative... That's a graphic statement coming from you, Nicodemus. I didn't know you had that kind of language in you. Yeah, I had a Volkswagen Beetle. I was pretty dumb as a well, I'll just leave it there. And so when I was a teenager, my dad was super amped. One of the guys on base had to move. He was stationed somewhere else. And he had a 1965A Mustang. And my dad was so amped on it. And I was like, oh man, you know, that car's too jockey. Like skateboarding and shit. And so I was like, oh, I don't want that. That's a jock car. So I broke his heart and we traded it for 3 Volkswagen Beetles. And we stripped the Beetles down and built one really good Beetle out of the 3. And then a buddy of mine was a welder. So he shaved all the lights and the door handles and made everything perfectly smooth. And I had a little button in my mirror that I could activate and deactivate with a little like Coke machine type key, the little round ones. So you turn the button on, boom, opens the door, super fun. We put some brand new Toyota something or another seats in it. Took out the crazy Volkswagen seats and put in these flat Volkswagen seats. Toyota seats. I sat really low in there. It was nice. And then took out the back seat and walled in the back, and it was nothing but these giant ass. I think it was like 2 18-inch woofers, and it was all carpeted, so I could throw my skateboard on top of the back and boom, take off. And so I was just always playing a random assortment of music just to see what could give me a concussion. Pretty goofy kit. The default state is 1, static state. So, ID 27 spike trap. John said, back when we had no idea that concussions, what concussions were, so they never affected us. Thanks for learning that science, right? So, there's no static ID 27 here. But I thought this worked at one point. Oh no, no. The spikes were just static here, right? It used to be that there was just spikes sticking up. Now I remember. There were just spikes sticking up before. And then we added the animation per feedback. So if that's correct, Pattis, then what we've got to do is we've got to create states that are associated with the animation. That'll be state 1 will be the off animation. Whatever that is. Do we have a... So it would be like WB trap initial state, I guess. And then we need to trigger... We need to trigger this static via a volume. So, and then it'll be a... What do we got? We got castability. Do we even have that support for the interaction between... Because we can trigger mud actions. That we know works. You had it looping the animation, so at least be doing something before the volume trigger was set up. So we'll have to get some time from Ali or one of the programmers to let us know if I'm incorrect on this, but I think one of the problems is we've got volumes. Volumes interact. So right now volumes can cast the ability. Pattis said, I'm not 100% sure if it's working and there is no example to go off. to try and set it up with my limited knowledge of DB site. Dude, don't worry. You guys are already... You guys are really great about getting into the database and making shit happen. That's nice. Hey, Justin. Yeah, so we need a couple of things. We can make the volume cast the ability. We just need the ability, right? So we would do that here, and then we would set up the volume in this area when it comes in. What we don't have, unless I'm mistaken, is we don't have... We have the ability for the volume to trigger a mud action, but we don't have the ability for a volume to trigger a static, right? Like it can't change a static state unless I mean maybe I'm missing the obvious, but if you look at these statics, the interaction's pretty straightforward, right? So if we look here, we've got something like a door, and then we associate the door with the state, and the state can be activated, and we can define whether or not it has a key item. There is an on-enter event for the volume, but the thing is, the on-enter event again, maybe I'm just missing it, but based on the type IDs that we have, I don't see anything that then, crosses over into static territory. So we've got, for example, I've got a quest item that you find and in the dungeon, and when you enter the volume, it triggers a mud action, right? And so mud action here, and then I think it's like variable 1 here. Yep, here it is. This is the one up there. I'll put this back. Right, so upon entering this volume, it fires off a look. It forces you to look, essentially. Forces your client to look. And it's really a funny way of doing it. It actually doesn't link to the mud action at all. The specific mud action, it doesn't link to that entry, just like there's no link to a static here. What it does is it literally just behind the scenes pushes your look button for you. And if you had hit look without the volume, you would find it there if the volume didn't exist. The problem is there's no reason in hell for you to push look there unless you're just randomly running around hitting look. Does all that make sense? Very, very simple system. So I think what we have to do is get support for statics, like a passive perception check. Correct. Oh, and the thing is, just to go sideways real quick on that, what it does is, because it's just hitting look for you, mud action, it allows us to use all of the parameters of a standard mud action, which could be a look, right? And so it can still have a skill requirement and a skill, right? So it could be a specific like type of perception or whatever. It uses the condition and everything else. All it's doing is pushing the button for you, and then all the rest of the shit has to happen or line up or whatever. UK Rads, which now that I realize it's University of Kentucky, I've got to change my perception of you. UK Rads sounds like such a like 70s, 80s punk band name. Like the UK Dolls or the UK Gents or whatever. Your name sounds like a band that would come on a early 80s punk compilation CD. Okay, Pattis, so what we need to do is we need to make a request. So let's open a different ticket. And then if we're wrong, well, I'll create a new issue really quick. Because if we're wrong, then it'll be an easy enough thing for Ali to just go Sean, you idiot. That's a Ren and Stimpy thing, not a... That's not his actual accent. You idiot. We already have this. Ability to trigger statics via volume. This is the name of this one. Was just looking at the DB in reference to 1492. Number 1492. And what are we working on today? Sorry, UK Rads, I went off on your name and didn't answer your damn question. Just looking at some more bugs today. It makes it so that the title for this VOD is very easy for me to figure out. I'll just call it Looking at Even More Bugs. That's the hardest part of posting them on YouTube. And right now we are looking at, in the background, close tab. We are here in... Meh? Did the game freeze? What's going on here, guys? Oh, no, it didn't freeze. My lantern ran out of fuel. So we validated that this is not a bug. It's just kind of weird UX. So let me refuel my lantern. Boom. I wonder why it works that way. I'm sure there's a good reason. Ali, if you're watching this, I'm sure there's a good reason. But it would make more sense to me that I would take the fuel and I would right click it onto the lantern instead of taking the lantern and right clicking it on the fuel. Anyway, so what we're doing is we're looking at the spike trap that doesn't fire off when you land in here. And I was just looking at the DB with Garrison, with Pattis, and it makes sense that it doesn't work because I don't think we have the actual tech to support that at the moment. So let me finish writing this up. Was just looking at the DB in reference to 1492, and it appears that we don't support the following use case: player enters, let's italicize this, player enters a volume, the volume fires off a static which has an animation. Example, spike trap. That'd be good to have for mechanics like pressure plates. So we can do pressure plates already because we can do volume triggering ability. But we can't do the visual, if that makes sense. You need to make a Columbus reference somewhere in this. 1492. Turnip gin, I would, but I don't want to trigger anybody. Let's see. Players enter a volume. Volume fires. Volume fires off a static which has an animation. I should stop making jokes like that because I think it just triggers people. It's unprofessional. Nicodemus says, does the passive look action fire a soundbite? Stuff like that may need an audio cue to get the player's attention. No, we don't have any sound bites associated with the mud action system at the moment. We may do something on the UI that's a little like, you know, so you can kind of see it. You're not just staring at the text box like a meh. Like you're, I think Shifty mentioned something along those lines. Turnip said, when can we ship this? We'll use that. Good job, Turnip. We'll need the ability to modify static state via volume. There we go. We'll do Ollie. We'll label this feature request. And we'll also have it be database. And we'll also have it be design tooling. Because why not? Priority. Unfortunately, I would say this is low priority. As cool as it is low priority. For our project, milestone, default. All right. All right, I'll submit that. Now, hopefully we're able to, if I look at volumes again, yeah, we can have multiple components. All right, so this volume should be able to do more than one thing, right? So in theory, 26 would be the volume associated with the spike trap. And 26 would be the volume associated with the spike trap, and then we'd be able to do ID 27, which would also be associated with the spike trap. Spike trap, or with that same volume, but it would just be doing something different then. Okay. Cool enough. All right, let's look at another bug. Yeah, so back to my earlier comment about being able to write. That would be interesting. But you know, the other thing I don't like about the idea of writing on stream is you would see what I'm writing, and then that would take all the fun away from your ability to go in and find that quest or learn about that piece of lore. So that's why it doesn't happen. But it would be cool to spend that time doing it. I got the outline for the rogue quests written up, and I've started writing all the dialogue and details for it. So gulo. Good day to you as well. Zarfleen, thank you for 21 months. That's a hell of a streak. Especially since you're so quiet, but I appreciate you. Nicodemus said, I like the glow effect on whatever triggered the look. That'll work. My concern was if it was just text and the player's eyes are primarily focused somewhere else, it could be easily missed. My suggestion for audio cue is mostly fueled by my desire to get more of Robert's working game. Right on. If he made a soundtrack just for finding something, I would not object. It's not a bad idea. It may be worth mentioning or requesting, because what we could do is a mud action. What we could potentially do is get an additional field on mud actions. And for a successful mud action, there's a sound cue. Let me, while we're in here adding features, I'll write up a new issue. Sounds cue for mud action.
Hey, robot and chat. Hope you're all doing well.
Norden, thank you for 8 months. Hope you're doing well as well. I'm always, I don't know why I'm so awkward on shit like that. Like, I should just say, hey, thanks, bud. I wind up repeating what you say. Hope you're doing well as well also. Friend? Hope everything is okay with you, human. So sound cue for mud actions. Would be nice to be able to assign a sound to a mud action. We could start with a generic success sound, which would indicate that which would be associated with all mud action. Nicodemus, thank you for your generosity. What, you're at, what is that? You're now at like 128 gift subs? That's fantastic. Thank you for that. 5 gift subs. Mustang Spy, Ahoy Ahoy, Rubikai, Middle, Cambam 707. All got them. I know at least 2 of those people are not bots. Well, thank you for that, Nicodemus. I think I may, maybe I'll do a project. Because when I'm streaming, my focus really should be entertainment. Entertainment. I should be more entertaining. I'm gonna watch I'm gonna watch every episode of Critical Role. I'm gonna learn how to be entertaining. I'll learn how to do voices and shit. And then I'll be a better front man. That's my job here, is I'm just the front man. Bots getting gift subs reminds me of when Ubisoft ran a giveaway. Some 5,000 plus people in the channel, and the winner was a known bot. Aw. I was listening to somebody tell the story about there was the Pepsi points back in the day, and one of the prizes was a fighter jet, and it was like 7 million points or whatever. There was actually a successful lawsuit against Pepsi on that, because they did not give the person the fighter jet. The story was basically the college kid saw it and knew somebody with money, I think, like legit money, and was like, hey, I think I could get these points, and a fighter jet's worth like $30 million. What? The person lost the lawsuit in the end, Turnip said. What? Really? There's a thing on Netflix about it, I think, called Dude, Where's My Jet? Really? Okay. I just heard the story from some other podcast, apparently incorrectly. Or maybe I didn't listen to the whole thing. There's a Netflix thing about it. Of course there is. Yeah, they lost the suit and Pepsi doubled down on the campaign in a real asshole way. Oh man. Was there not a follow-up lawsuit? What was this guy talking about? Dude, Where's My Jet would be a great guild name. Carzette, the second we see that guild name in M&M, it's getting nuked. Where's your jet? Bottom of the ocean. What jet was it? Like an antique? I don't know. I honestly... Apparently I didn't even have the damn story straight. There was also a radio giveaway for a Toyota. The lady won. They gave her a toy Yoda. They got sued. They should get sued. You think it was a Harrier? Harrier jump jet. Vertical landing and takeoff. That thing was the shit in the 80s. Alright. So, assignees, that's going to be Ali. Labels. Let's just start with low. Let's straight out of the gate. Low priority. And it is a database request and a feature. So Turnip posted in August 1999, Judge Kimba Wood ruled in favor of PepsiCo with the argument that no objective person could reasonably have concluded that the commercial actually offered consumers a Harrier jump jet. Harrier jet. Company later updated their commercial to increase the number of Pepsi points required for the jet from 7 million to 700 million. Misremembered, there's a Hooters in-store competition for employees to sell the most beer. She won the contest. Yeah. Yeah. The Dungeoneer said, "Ho there, Wanderer." Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man. It's been nigh unto 10 days since I've seen a soul walking this road. Of course I screwed it up. And I've been without decent conversation since. Traveling nowadays appears to be the domain of either the desperate or the deranged. If thou wouldst pardon my intrusion, may I inquire which pertains to thee? Are you asking me if I'm deranged or desperate? I'm somewhere on that Venn diagram. It sounds like Elminster and Baldur's Gate. The voice or just the text? Tell me the voice. Tell me the voice. That'll get me one step closer to my Matt Mercer fantasy. Oh, nice. The Dungeoneer said, I am he, but someone beat me to the name on Twitch, so I use this name. Esan said, runs to the door. Sorry, I'm late. I had to buy bait. That sounds fun. I was just watching a video that Luna had posted in Slack about the I think it was the what is the name of it? Let me look. Inspiration. From Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep, the geopolitics of Faerun was the video I watched over lunch. Pretty cool. And, you know, naturally they were talking about Ed Greenwood. It would be amazing if it was actually Ed Greenwood visiting the stream. Yeah. I'd probably not believe it. And then kick myself afterwards. Wait. This is a horrible question to ask. Ed Greenwood. He's still alive. Yeah, he is. Okay. He's not that old. The beard throws me in the pictures. Sorry. Sorry, Ed. I think he's still a librarian in Canada. That's pretty badass. The politics of Waterdeep is getting out of hand if you ask me. I'm just an old man though. Prickle Rick 420. Why did I just picture airbrush? Asked, when do we get into the test server? I'm very interested and bored. We're diligently working towards a open play test, but it'll be a fairly limited. Ow! It'll be a fairly limited. Stop it. Fairly limited duration, and we'll mainly just be looking at. We're trying to get some insight on textability and stuff like that for it. But if folks enjoy themselves and things work out, then maybe we'll have another one. But we're working towards that right now. We'll see. Maybe by end of the month. You're very welcome. No longer able to mine. That was that random bug that was hitting people. I don't think I've ever been able to replicate it though. Maybe they grew up no longer a miner. Damn, John. Why are you so good at that? Okay, so this is a thing that will probably, I was thinking about this earlier when I was working on quest text for the rogues. At some point I'm going to have to go back through all my quests and update all of the text to be client specific, because right now everybody gets spammed with all the text, and against my better judgment, quests do have a fair bit of text. So have to actually sit down and do that. But it's already on my mind, so we can ignore this bug for now and then come back to it at some point. Basically just a matter of changing the tag or token that we're using. Visible colliders. Bizarre movement after opening Garrison gate. Let me go see if we can see this one in action at some point. It's going to involve some waiting though, I think. Nicodemus said, love the lore bits on loading screens. Have you been enjoying them? Does it sound intriguing enough to you? In theory, there should be some roaming NPCs, but I may do a repop real quick to see. Is this a guard or a trainee? I won't be able to see. Let me click on him. Watchman. Alright. When a PC responds to an NPC, is that text hidden too? Ooh, nice point, actually. It's not. So that'll be interesting, because if we make the responses client side, then you're just going to have people standing there saying random shit. You'll be able to hear that. And we don't want to have it be a like whisper to NPC type requirement. And spoil quests too if you have text-based riddles. It's not a lot of that's, it's not that big a deal, I don't think. I don't think that'll be too big of a deal. Let me reload and see. So he starts here. while the NPCs are being worked, well, while character art's being worked on, it's funny, the NPCs all look like they've got, like little Halloween skull masks on or something. Alright, Steel Talons trainee will eventually walk through here. Welcome to the Purge, Night Harbor. That is accurate. So we'll see if we can get this reproduced. Unattackable, unconsiderable, pacifist skeleton. Where? While we wait, I'll get my look here. Then I'm just gonna close this out. There's no way there's a skeleton standing there. January 18th of what year? 2023. That wasn't that long ago. Oh, it's friends and family. I was like, did I really write this? Oh, it was a friends and family bug. I think it just got in a weird state. But let me see who's coming here. Because if it's our trainee, we're going to wait. No, it's patrolman. Alright, so let me zoom over there really quick to this location. I doubt I'm going to see anything. 410. 15. Negative 700. Not Loke. Go to, dummy. Oh yeah. Well, that clearly doesn't exist. Yeah, server probably got in a weird state, or NPC got in a weird state, or whatever. Cannot reproduce. But I appreciate you guys sending the bug in, friends and family. Lantern is out of fuel. NPC quest support for multi-word prompt. Man, that's an older one. That's from last year. Okay. Maybe I didn't read this comment properly from Ollie. All right. He said this is supported. You need to go to the NPC quest table in the DB. Prompt should be, say, night market. This would only match if I am looking for night market. In order to make it not match, where's the market, you need to make sure the previous prompt has a lower ID and therefore takes priority over just market. I could have sworn I tested that. Okay, there's a whole thread here. Okay, so I don't need to regress that one. It looks like it's not supported. Everything assigned to me. Satchel is missing a slot. Satchel item does not say which slot. I actually have some questions on bags Because in a database, I think there's a limited, or if I come in here, if I go mass calculator and I go to slot, maybe this is just a bug with the mass calculator. If Keith is still lurking somewhere in here, maybe he would know. Got primary, secondary, ranged ammo, ear left, ear right, neck, face, head, finger left, right, wrist, left, right, arms, hands. I guess soon, we should just, this should probably just be wrist, and it should work for either. But maybe we need to do that in data. Anyway, arms, hands, shoulders, chest, back, wrist, leg. What? Oh, here's wrist again. Well, that's interesting in data. So, does the data support both the mask of left-right, which turns it into a mask of 6144, and wrists, plural, which is 262144? I guess I could experiment with that really quickly. So, I've got a black cloth bracer. It is flagged for wrist. So let me look it up in the database. Black cloth bracer is 262143. So that was the wrists. It's not. Oh, that's class mask. I'm a dummy. Slot mask. It's 6144, which was these two in combination. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, let's try this then. Put this in here. Replace that. And then after we watch, is this trainee? Come on, be a trainee. Yes. Okay, after this trainee goes through this gate here, we'll look and see what happens when a trainee goes through the gate. And then we'll both trainees, the visible one and the invisible one. I'm assuming that's a female trainee then. While we're doing the character revamp, we got some stuff going on like invisible ladies. All right. Well, they walked right on through. They just walked right on through. So, I don't understand the bug then. Let me go back and look at the bug, because nothing weird happened. They just walked right on through. Will there be a spell to see the invisible ladies? The Stabity 13. Nope, they're just invisible forever. I got the feeling some of you weren't here in the previous stream. Yeah, sorry. Game is ruined. Let me look and see what's going on with this bug. Issues. I'm just kidding, Stabity. They'll be fixed soon. We're fixing all the models. There's a lot of character work going on behind the scenes at the moment. We got a, looks like, as mentioned in the newsletter. Oh, crap. It's funny, I'll see something and I'll mean to respond and then I won't say anything for like 2 hours. And then I'll say something else and remind me. I just scrolled up. Monty, if you're still there, Monty said, gotta say the updates have been great. Super exciting to see everything. Hey, Monty. Thank you for that. Sorry I didn't respond an hour ago. But yeah, so if you checked out our update, then you'll notice that, let's see if this breaks. You'll notice that we're doing some character work. We've got a new artist assisting us with stuff as well. Oh, so that doesn't work. Destroy. Is that not risk? Oh, it says risk, but it's waste. Keith, if you're watching this later, if you're no longer here, is this something that you can fix? This says risks 262144, but it's not risks. Apparently it's waste. Which now it makes sense because I was like, why do we have left wrist, right wrist, and then also wrists plural? It's waste. So we need to fix that. Reload. At some point it should reload. Yes. Cool. And the whole point of this was saying that we've got belt slot 1, 2, and 3. We've got backpack, but we don't have bag slot. There's not a mask for bag slot. And yet we have bags. I think there's something that's based on the definition of it. If it is a container and it's small, it'll fit there. Is that what's going on? Because it's small as well. So let's look at that bugged item and see. Satchel. Where are you, Satchel? What do we know about satchels? We know that a satchel is a bag. We know that it has no class mask, no race mask, no slot mask, no required level. Let's go see what it does have. It's got a size medium. So let's make ourselves a satchel. And while we're doing that, I also want to show you the character stuff. If you didn't check it out in the update. So here's some concepts. Night Harbor Guard, Bahara Style Guard, Thorns of the Bloom, or no, Red Mantle, sorry. Here's a quick rendering of what it'll look like in 3D. I think the textures there'll probably be some iteration. Fighter outfit. Different headgear for the characters being worked on and working with hair and facial hair. Yeah. So when you see these guys right now, it's because they're in progress. We're getting all these changes, and then you'll see everything's like grayscale. We're doing like using, I guess, some gradient approach on top of the grayscale to get everything to look tight again. Pop into Zukin's stream for more info on that. If you're a part of our Discord, you'll see whenever Zukin or Panis or me or Goblin or somebody is streaming, so it's good to keep on top of that. Stabby said, wow, helms that don't take away beards. It is possible. Yeah, think the way that we're going to do beards and hair is to break them up into different sections, and so that we know. Now the question will be, what happens if I put on my, like, you know, veil and I have a beard? But we'll tackle that bridge when we approach it. So let's summon a satchel. Let's take these and get rid of them. We'll destroy it. Cool. Satchel. A satchel can go in the bag slot. I don't know what this bug is about. Let me look again. Maybe I read it wrong. Satchel is missing a slot. It doesn't say which slot. Oh, that's a different story. Yeah, well, none of these say which slot, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that does say belt. And that does say belt. But none of the bags do. We're missing a bag slot in the tool. That's the problem. That's the problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign this to Ali. Is this okay for you guys? The work we're doing here? Are you entertained enough? All right, that's 3 yeses from Organic Cacao, Esan, and Prickle Rick. That's all I need. The rest of you, whatever. I don't have viewers turned on. I don't know how many are there, so it could be there's just 4 of you in here. But you know what? That's 4 more people than when I first started streaming in 2020. So that's a 400% increase. Now there's only 2 in chat. Well, screw them. I'm glad they're gone. They sucked. Just me and you, Asan. You stream some ice fishing. I'll stream this. We'll watch each other's streams. Yeah. So let me basically. I'll assign this to Ali. I'm gonna put Keith on here as well. Maybe Keith can do something about this. Keith. That positive mindset, I need to adopt that. Kappa votes. I am all about positivity. Bro, people keep telling me to stream hiking. I laugh, but maybe I really should. If you can get the connection worked out, people will for sure watch it. I've watched guys streaming fishing, all sorts of shit. I like it. Do you want ice fishing because you're stuck in this desert zone at work for the past few months? No, I'm just curious to see Esan ice fish. I actually like being in here because I've been stuck in northern Germany's damp ass weather for the last few months, so I don't mind being in the desert at all. This is home to me. Game comes out, I'm not even gonna go to any of the other zones. They're dead to me. You'll try, TM, to stream or record some fishing clips tomorrow for you. Right on. Right the heck on. Math calculator. Schlop. Is Ed Greenwood really a librarian in Canada? And do you have his email address by any chance? I would sure like to chat with him. Alright, so just fired up a Patreon as well. Let me look that stuff up, man. Ed Greenwood Patreon. Oh, I'll take a look at that. Esan said, I got this a 4K link link thing from Elgato. I'll figure it out today. Now you've got a reason to use it. Yep. The really the big challenge is, I mean, if you're just recording, it's not that big a challenge. But if you're trying to stream, it's the connectivity part of it, though. I tried streaming from the lake in Sweden once when I was first started streaming. Didn't really work very well. Very pixely. Slot mask tool doesn't include bag slot as an option. I should make another note. And while you're in there, waste is labeled risk. Oh yeah, I remember now. The main internet got me. Yep, that's the thing, man. The internet will get you. Boolork!
Less than 3.
What is going on, Boolork? How have you been? Got a day off? Been well? Nice. Hope all is well for you too. It is. It's good. It's good. Don't have too much to complain about. Oh. So I've been working that much? You make it sound like you haven't had a day off in quite a while. If that's the case, that is a shame. No, you get 2 days off during. Oh, okay, cool. But you took one extra one today. Oh, right on. You had me worried. Another bug assigned to me. about 3 videos ago, if you're watching this VOD, we looked at this one bug. We spent an hour and a half looking on it. We never figured it out, but we gathered more data. Identical mobs in 2 different identical rooms with identical rooms on the other side of a wall from them with more identical mobs. You could consistently aggro the one mob through the wall on the one side, and it wouldn't work on the other side, and we couldn't figure it out. It was wild, man. How many do I have? I've got 38 open, and they're not really assigned to me. I put my own self on there. Just so I could keep track of it. So, if we get support for those 2, we can fix them mobs. Oh, here's one. Oh, mobs path around the corner and down to an opening along the way. Players can't follow because the zone line is there. Might also be causing an imbalance in spawns and shaded dunes. What zone was this in? Oh. Mobs path around corner into what should be Night Harbor newbie area. Hey, Thadvik. Norton said, gotta take off. Hope you have a great day. Stay rad. Yeah, have a good one. Let me go look and see. I'm thinking this is a... I think this is a Shaded Dunes bug, not a Night Harbor bug. If I go back into DB, I could probably find what zone this was in. But I think this will be enough. Let's take a look. So we're in here now. Let me turn aggro off because that'll just be annoying. What was the bug report? Mobs path around corner into what should be Night Harbor newbie area. I've got the feeling, so it's essentially, I just want to look and see if there's an overlap on spawn volumes in, let me change time of day. Cool. Make it a little bit easier for us to see. And then we can look on both sides, make sure there's not too egregious of an overlap. But I also think that there's a little bit of, like there's a buffer. Mobs can walk outside of their volumes when they wander a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. But let's take a look. Zone. Let's go to Shaded Dunes. Let's enable the spawners. Yeah, so that's right on the edge. So I wouldn't be shocked if some guys... oh, and let's see if we can look and see where the actual volume is as well. See if there's an overlap. Oops. Can we collapse this? We can. Have a question you don't want to ask on stream? Discord when you get a chance. Alright. We can do this. So let's see. Shaded Dunes? Zone line? Dr. De La Vu? De La... I'm trying to remember how Deja Vu worked. Pickle Plant 420. Now we've got 2 pickle people in here with 420s in their name. Oh, sorry, that's not accurate. We've got a prickle and we got a pickle. Both 420 though. I wonder if they have the same hobbies. Zone line. Water volumes, zone lines. There we go. Night Harbor zone line. Okay. Pickle Plant is your cousin? Right on. Family is good stuff. Alright, so we've got this big ol' honkin'... Oh yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense now. Now that I look at it, I see the problem without even being able to, without even pulling the zone line up. I see the problem. The problem is this guy right here. ID 231 is a problem. You're problematic. I wonder why that's even a thing. I bet you that's like a holdover. See, it's this volume right here, guys. I bet you it's a holdover volume from back when Shaded Dunes and Night Harbor used to be one zone. So those of you that are relatively new here, this was the first area we just started playing around in like 2 years ago. And we're using it to prototype forever. And the city used to just be part of the zone, and it was just this tiny, it was much smaller. And so all of the spawns and stuff used to be here, and I had to come in and delete them, which has led to any number of silly bugs. What I can do for now, just to fix this problem pretty easily, is just, I'll come in here and I'll set the count to 0. Right? And then we'll hit save. Come back in here. We'll reload this zone. Because they really shouldn't have been affecting much. And the original bugs that might be causing imbalance in spawns and Shaded Dunes, I think they were just, this is a leftover thing. This is about as much as we would have ever expected. I can also tell this is an old spawn volume because look how flat it is. At some point we changed something and it basically zeroed out the height on all the spawn volumes. So it's basically just it's an old volume. At some point when we need to add another volume in here, I'll leave it kind of up here and obvious. And say we want to, you know, we want to fill in some mobs here or something, or we want to put in we've got overlapping volumes here, you may notice. because there may be a volume that's just like, we've got a big volume and it's just for the giants that appear at night, that kind of thing. Keep in mind that at some point in the future, we'll be going back through here and just like redoing the art in this zone. I'm fairly certain because I don't want to speak out of turn, but I'm fairly certain like the bulk of the stuff that's in this zone art-wise is made by me, and I'm not an artist. I was making art out of necessity more than anything in the early days of our development. So let's go look. Redoing art. Well, thought it looked good. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, you know, we'll probably be doing some revamp stuff. I say that now. Who knows? We may get busy and just forget it, and then that's that. Monty said, client-side performance looks pretty solid. I take it you guys have static and dynamic batching on. Static and dynamic batching? I don't know. Rune, why are you out of your crate? You should be in your crate, buddy. I don't know. There's a bunch of wild shit going on. I just saw Ollie was talking to Hidden Tree about art pipeline, rendering stuff or whatever. And it's a conversation you probably enjoy. I mostly understand it enough to know that things are being taken care of, but I couldn't describe it to you, Monty. The performance here is actually not good compared to the actual client. So I'm just playing in the editor at the moment. It feels so much smoother in the client. You know what I can do? I could hop out of here and it's 4:21. Oh man, I missed it by 1 minute, my pickle friends. Oh no. Yes, I did. I'm sorry. It's 4:20 in Germany. It's 4:21 in Germany. 4:22 in Germany. Pickle guys, if you want to blaze one up. Can you hit the stats viewport and see how many batches you have? Window stats. Where's it? I don't use it, dude, so I don't know where I'd find it. Is analysis. Top right along the viewport. Oh, there. Acreal. First, everybody, thank you for the So this is in the editor right now, which is not fast, relatively speaking. But you know what we can do? Since I just fixed this bug. Oh shit. I haven't been writing down the bugs that I've been fixing. Oops. Yeah, I'll watch the VOD. Or no, okay, it's no problem. I can actually go through this should be updating in, we have our Slack hooked to GitHub, so when we do close stuff out or change the status of issues, it mentions it in there. So I'll just go through there. Okay. Because we need those for our patch notes. So what I'll do, I will close this out. Boop. And kill my editor for now, and then I'll load up our actual client. D loves pudding. Thank you for 11 months, D. Are you feeling any better? You said you're super sick. Music did die because it was all in the editor. So I'm going to turn this off for now so you don't see me launch my super secret. Now you're delirious? Okay. That's no good. All right, so it's a little quiet and it's a little dark. Which is a perfect time for you to contemplate the decisions you've been making in life. It also reminds me of a DMX album name. What was that album name? DMX. It's dark and hell is hot. Is that the name of it? All right. I just hit that thing that the Patra does. Rice pudding is delicious. Pickle plants, they do something called whoa, that's loud. They do something called Milchreis in Germany. It's like a rice pudding kind of thing. Man, it's so good. It can't be good for you, but it is good. And you can get all these different flavors. All right. Cool. So this is the actual client. So I'll be on the same tune. I'll just be in this client. We'll see. We'll see. I say that now. Watch, it's like it breaks or something. Man. Womp womp. No, it took a minute to load when I hopped in today on the in the editor as well. That first load, man. It's a doozy. Yeah, D. All right, what's going on here, guys? We're simulating dial-up load times. Pretty sure there are packet changes. Is the Nick, which which version are we on? Someone picked up the phone while I was zoning. Oh man. Oh, you'd only be able to log into test. Oh, I see what you're saying. All right, let's try this then. Monty said one day when I was playing EQ as a kid, I faked sick to stay home and play. Went on the boat from a butcher block, but then zoned. My dial-up didn't hold up, and later I logged back in at water and ocean tears at like level 14. Spent my whole sick day trying to get out. There's probably a karmic lesson in there. Let me see something real quick. Okay. Yeah, because I mainly just wanted to show off performance. What? Has this hasn't been here? I was just looking at bugs in here and I didn't see this sign. This hasn't been here. Someone snuck that in. Lesson was asked for a report next time, Nick said. Nick, did you ever skip school to play EverQuest? Judging by the age range that you were when you were playing, I've got an assumption in mind. So Monty, this is the client running. So it's definitely more performant than this is Night Harbor, which is our worst case scenario at the moment. All right, because it's the full zone. Nick said, "Did I ever?" Do you have a FPS counter available or fraps or something? I don't. Don't you try to get actual specific metrics from me first? How dare you? EQ came out when First was a senior in high school. Didn't skip at all for it, but let's not talk about freshman year of college. Oh my god. I felt so bad the other day when I was talking to Pattis's college crew, but fortunately they're like, it sounds like they're seniors or something, so they're wrapping up. But one of the first things I was talking about in my bio was like, so I didn't stay in college very long or learn anything about, you know, well, first of all, there were no courses to learn about video games when I was in college. I was like, I didn't stay in college very long. It really wasn't my thing. I just remember I had a scholarship, went to a nearby university, and wound up just playing Populous all day while watching Sci-Fi Channel. Oh wait, no, I couldn't do both. I think I played Populous and watched Sci-Fi Channel. To be fair, I was sleeping in high school classes anyway, out of the slow pace of education. Yeah, it was rough for me in school. There's a little hitch there that appeared. Don't know what that is. Didn't skip school for EQ. Just stopped sleeping at night and started sleeping in school. That works as well. VGFX, this is on test. So, Pickle Plant, I can fly because I'm a GM, so I'm cheating. Bat should work on Dev 2. I just haven't. I think we saw bats and they worked. Are you able to run up those sharp slopes, or do the dunes funnel you through the deeper channels? For the time being, a lot of them just funnel you. Need alligator mode for water flying. I can't wait till the alligators swim, but that's going to be a bit. Zone. Yeah, I don't have a light source. Yeah. What a dummy. I'm giant. Cast illusion torch. Oh, that's an interesting case. Can you turn your if you're an enchanter and you use an illusion, can you turn yourself into a light source? Can someone hold you? If you're going to add ogre carrying no mechanics, then then that could also be used for carrying a player as a torch. That's a fair point, BTC Retro. Somewhere out there, Ollie's head's probably exploding. No, it's Ollie. Somewhere out there, Ollie's probably just... He randomly chuckled to himself. He experienced a bit of joy and doesn't know where it came from. Came from that idea. Ollie's the opposite of a lot of programmers I've worked with in the games industry. We're like, Ollie, we just had this idea where you could turn yourself into a torch as an enchanter and then other people can hold you. And Ollie would actually appreciate that and do that big smile that he does. I'd say you can turn yourself into a light source, but it might get ugly when someone tries to refuel you. It's true. That would be a group experience bonus. Pickle Plant 420 said, game crashed on the boat on P99 and I'm in Ocean of Tears swimming. Oh man. He's a rare one. Ollie's not a no-grammer. I once worked with a programmer that members of the team affectionately called the Genie. Because he would program literally what you told him to program. It was like the monkey's paw thing. And so you would get what you asked for, but you had to really watch what you asked for. And the guy was a smart guy, so clearly it was passive aggressive. Turn off my aggro. What did you ask for that was different than what you wanted? Honestly, I remember the name. I remember the dude. I don't remember some of the specific things. If I sat and really thought about it, I bet I could figure out. Malicious compliance. I don't know that I've ever heard that term before. Really? Malicious compliance. I don't think I've ever heard it. I'm gonna look it up. Oh, malicious compliance is behavior strictly following the orders of a superior despite knowing that compliance with the orders will have an unintended or negative result. The term usually implies following an order in such a way that ignores or otherwise undermines the order's intent, but follows it to the letter. Yeah, okay. No, it makes sense. It makes sense that that's what it is. It makes sense that that's a term that exists. Hey, Goblin. Nicodemus says, I myself have people asking for all kinds of changes, not aware their changes will affect other people's reports processes. Yeah. But you work at a pretty big company, huh? Or am I wrong on that? Uh-huh. David says, it is absolutely amazing to me how good this looks. Blue pills with no animations seem like just yesterday. Time definitely flies, but things have come together, right? Oh, hey, remember we were talking about this earlier. This is the volume that pushes the look. So, if you noticed at the bottom of my chat box. That look was fired off from the volume when we entered it. Goblin said, I can't wait to get all the new 2D props in. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how they work, Goblin. If all of it goes in and works well, it'd be really nice to hammer out like the variety on that stuff. Nicodemus said, I need M&M merch. First said, yes, merch. Shreddy Kruger said, likewise, when are we getting merch or something so that we can help fund the project? Guys, keep in mind when we finally do put merch out, is it possible to span yourself over the same spot, or is there a delay? At the moment, I think there's a... Did I enter and re-enter? Let's sit here and see if it refires. I don't think it'll refire if I'm in the volume, but we'll see in a second. I'll show off the 2D props in a sec. But on the merch front, realize that when we finally do put the merch out, the cash that comes from it will definitely be appreciated, but because it's merch, it'll be a pretty narrow profit margin. So, and it will be income that's also taxable. So the profit margin will be pretty small, but it'll still be appreciated. Gate the merch, must subscribe to buy merch. But we'll see how things continue to shape up, and then we'll talk about what that type of thing looks like moving forward. The cool thing about merch versus other stuff, though, is merch is you bought a thing, you now own a thing. It's a lot different than something like a donation or a subscription, where all of a sudden we've got to be nice to you and stuff. Ugh. Throw up early access so you can give that money. We appreciate the sentiment. Right now, the number one best thing you can do is just continue to... If what you're seeing looks good enough that you want to give us money, then hopefully it looks good enough that you're telling all of the people that you know that might be interested about it. And that's honestly, that's the biggest thing. Subscribing to our YouTube channel to help us sort of boost that number and know how many people are interested. Subscribing to the mailing list. Anybody that's talking about buying merch right now or giving us money but isn't subscribed to the mailing list, shame on you. IndSE2 gifted a sub to Pickle Rick for 20. Prickle Rick, son of a gun. Yeah, you know what I mean. You could put secret scanning devices inside the merch and then sell the data to big data. Oh, that would be great. But that option doesn't exist at Printful, who I think would very likely be using. Been telling your old EQ friends, told them to pass along the word. Nice. Been telling people nonstop. Have a full guild ready to go. Nice. Yeah, so it doesn't refire while you're in the volume, but I'm fairly certain if you just kept running in and out of the volume. There's a cooldown on your look as well, so because it's using your look. So there's a cooldown there. Yeah, Swanee. I'm a big fan of the skeletons. For the playtest that is planned at some point, what is the goal the team is looking to accomplish, or is that to be determined? Shreddy Krueger, the first open playtest that we do, the goal will be to see what happens when we have that many people log in. So that's the first one. It's more of just a stress and stability kind of test. Open playtest has been discussed on 3 different servers I'm in, plus my guilds. We'll probably get pretty hype when it's announced. Yeah, I mean, that'd be really cool. We'll see what we run into, right? Because that type of playtest has the first one has all sorts of weird variables that may pop up that we're not accounting for. And we may find that you know, any number of issues pop up. Hoping that's not the case, but we could potentially, you know, and we could see anything from, you know, login issues through significant instability once people come in. That said, it'd be really rad if we do get a decent number of people and then things hold up for the most part, and most of the complaints are, you know, the expected complaints, which are, hey, the game's still in development here, or this, you know, I didn't like this text there, or why is this art placeholder, or whatever. So out of curiosity, all the class races expect to be selectable even if the model isn't in. All the classes will be available, but not all the races. First asked, do you think you will have a pre-download? I asked Ollie about that last week or this week. So my question was, do we need a pre-download? That's something that we've always done at other companies to sort of mitigate the hammering on, you know, whatever. I don't fully understand the implications of distribution through CDN or whatever, but I know I've run into issues at on other teams where the tech people had to do this or that. So pre-download was a question. And then, you know, there's just sort of all the usual questions about security and stuff like that. So, and then we probably, I need to make a mental note. We probably need a communication plan for, I've got the feeling it'll, oh, the bell's ringing. Let me go grab my delivery. I'll be right back. Oh, did you hear my dog? Yeah, he's fierce. Let's see. But yeah, so we'll probably, if I had to guess, we'll probably have a communication plan set up, probably through like general chat and Discord the day that we do it. And we may have to see when we set it up. We may have to do like a 2-day 2-day deal where it's like target one day and then have a fallback day or whatever. What happened? This stream all of a sudden looks a bit rough. That's hilarious. He is a pretty dog. Thank you. But yeah, so it'll be an interesting one. I'm less worried about the one event itself as an event, because things will work the way they work. Could go super smoothly on in terms of tech and stability. Go super smoothly, or we may run into some issues, and then folks are just logging in and out. I think most of the playtests that you guys have seen at other companies, they run into this stuff as well, right? So it's fairly normal. It's not like a big deal if it's like, oh, we had some instability and everybody logged back in, or we found a thing or whatever. My biggest point of curiosity after the open playtest is the general sentiment afterwards, because it's one thing to watch the streams, and it's another thing to actually get in the game, both on the positive side and the negative side, I think. So on the positive side, it's one thing to look at the game, but I think it looks better when you're able to sort of run around and actually be in it and look around. That's my belief, at least, and I think some people have mentioned, said similar things to that effect within the friends and family crew. The potential negative, though, is people come in, they look around, and maybe they built up in their mind's eye that somewhere hidden off screen when we stream, or when I'm running around in here or whatever, is like this finished game. They're like, oh wait, I got in here finally, and I looked around, oh wait, the game's not finished. Yeah, we've been pretty open, right? So but I'm hoping that it winds up being more the former than the latter. Those of you that are lurking behind the, lurking in here, that are secretly part of friends and family or whatever, we can discuss that. But yeah, Nicodemus said this is as open development gets. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, we're sure trying to be honest, straightforward. This is the game, so hopefully people get in. I'm hoping it's real stable, and so that they can have an experience similar to what friends and family folks are playing. And then, hopefully there's a lot of little gripes here and there, and they're running into the bugs and the this and the that. But generally speaking, people come away even more hyped about the game than they have been, which was cool. So, yeah. All right. Tell you what. It's 5 o'clock on my end. That means I'm going to hop out of here. I'm going to walk the pup. I'm going to start dinner. And then I'll be around in Discord and stuff. And I really need to just sit down and finish writing this quest and begin implementation. Zube, take care. Thanks everybody for being here this week. I'll get these VODs posted over the weekend, probably. Any updates regarding payment processors and whatnot? Still happy to help with that stuff when the time comes. Thanks, Swanee. I'll ping you on that. So far, it's been a bit out of mind. There hasn't been any major update. All right, let me say the goodbyes. Zube, goodbye. Nicodemus, see you. Have a good weekend. Isan. All right, I'll keep an eye out for a video. I'll keep an eye out on Discord for the ice fishing video. John, see ya. Pickle Plant 420, good to meet you. MMO Pugs, see you. Take care. Goblin said he's going to stream today, so people keep an eye out. Make sure you're in Discord. BDC Retro, you're welcome. Mustang Spy, take care. Same with you, Cacao. Yeah, Goblin, if you're working on something specific, let chat know before they all disappear. CamBam707, have a good one. Bye, Kimmery. See you first. Thadvic, see ya. Pattis, later. Later, Gulo. Biggs. Prickle Rick, later, dude. D Loves Pudding, goodbye. I hope you get to feeling better. Enjoy being delusional while you can, though. Oh, Goblin will be working on more 2D props, which I meant to show you and I didn't, so shit. Go to Goblin's stream later and check those out. See you, Swanee. See you, Nicodemus. See you, Vulork. It was nice seeing you again. I think is that probably everybody for now? Alright, I'm gonna start heading towards the off switch then. Everybody have a great weekend.